Welcome to another episode of the Bottom of the Stream Movie Show. My name is Adam.
My name's Nick. Welcome back aboard the stream boat as we continue our never-ending quest to find hidden gem movies hiding at the bottom of the Netflix stream.
It certainly is. That's what we do best. It's our bread and butter. Quickly, before we start, have you listened to last week's movie show?
Which was last week's movie?
60 Minutes.
I have not yet, no.
Your ahoy at the beginning was far too loud.
Was it?
Yeah, it broke my earphones pretty much. If you listen to the beginning of the episode, I couldn't get rid of it all and it's really distorted. So you need to chill out. Chill the fuck out. This week, Robin, the randomizer, has selected us a movie called Bloody New Year. Bloody New Year. Occasionally, Robin just throws an 80s movie at us.
Sure.
And that's what he's done this week. It's from 1987. It's a 15. It runs for an hour and 33 minutes. And it's currently rated at 4.5 out of 10 on IMDb.
How do you rate something like this?
10.
How do
I have no idea.
How do you give this a number?
I wouldn't even like to give it a genre, let alone a number.
No.
We're going to have a lot of fun with this movie today. I've got stuff that you won't believe. I've spotted somebody in it that you'll never believe.
I don't know what I'm going to say. Like, usually I come into these shows thinking, I kind of know how I felt about it. It's thrown me for a loop, this movie.
Yeah, it really, really has. So let's get into it. Let's see what happens. This movie stars a lady called Susie Aitchison. She plays Leslie. Did you recognise Susie Aitchison?
I did not know.
Ever been a fan of Russ Abbott?
I mean, I'm aware of it. I don't think...
Russ Abbott used to have a sketch show in the 80s and she used to be in all of his sketches with him.
Oh, did she? He used to muck around with Les Dennis. Was that?
Yeah.
No,
Russ Abbott, surprisingly to me, is alive.
Is he?
Yeah, where's he gone?
Well, he's not been on TV for
forever.
40 years.
She had lots of bit parts in British TV in the 80s and 90s as well. She was like in every big 80s TV show you can think of.
Really?
She was in it, yeah. Nikki Brooks plays a character called Janet. She was in a 90s TV show called Jupiter Moon. Ever heard of Jupiter Moon? No. Nor me, but it went for 105 episodes.
Wow.
And she was in all of them. So, and also stars a guy called Mark Powley. He plays Rick. Do you recognise him?
No.
Do you ever watch The Bill?
No.
He was in The Bill.
Never watched
for a long time. Most of its runtime. He was one of the main cops
we were talking about The Bill the other week. She said,
Isn't it coming back?
I don't know, but we were talking about someone and she was like, from The Bill. And I was like, I've never seen a minute of The Bill.
I find that really hard to believe. And I don't know, for somebody of our generation, I grew up on The Bill.
I never watched
we used to watch it.
It was never on in my house.
It was the longest running police procedural drama of all time. I think it still is the longest running.
It was never on in my house.
That's crazy. But yeah, Mark Powley was in that forever. 3 writers credited on this film: Fraser Pierce, Hayden Pierce, and Norman J. Warren.
Okay.
Norman J. Warren also directed this movie.
Okay.
You recognise that name?
Yeah, I do.
Me too. And I was really worried when I recognised it. Because this guy has been on our show before.
Yeah.
This guy directed Spaced Out, which was last season?
Yes.
And did it come bottom of last season? It did, I think.
It very much did, yes.
This was Norman J. Warren's final ever movie. Okay. And just not long before he died, Norman J. Warren did an interview about this movie. He died in 2021. Would you like to know some highlights from this interview?
I sure would.
It says, Warren commented negatively on this film. In one interview, he described Bloody New Year as a very terrible experience. In fact, it turned out to be a bloody nightmare. We had completely the wrong producers on the film and they didn't know anything about the horror, so the film lacks in every department, and by the end of it, my heart just wasn't in it. He added that the producers wanted to make the film cheaply and terribly quickly, and that was to the detriment of the music and all of the sound effects. In another interview, Warren criticised the music, stating that it just doesn't work. He added, on the second day of dubbing, I must confess, I gave up on the film, I'd run out of fight, and I just sat there and let them go through the motions. Warren said this experience on Bloody New Year put me off making any more films.
Wow.
And he therefore did not make any more films.
That's really interesting because I would say of the 2 movies that I've seen of his,
oodles of time better than Spaced Out.
This is the best one.
By leaps and bounds better. And this isn't a great movie.
And some of the issues he's referring to there, I could definitely say are issues in Spaced Out as well.
100%. So he started out making sex movies in the 60s and 70s. He decided he didn't like making sex movies, so he wanted to start making horror movies. And this was his first go at a horror movie. And then he just thought, fuck it, I'm not making any more movies.
Yeah.
I'm done. So he never made any more movies after this. Do you know where this movie was filmed?
I know where the fairground was filmed.
Most of the film was filmed in Barry Island.
Yeah.
And most of the scenes were filmed in Butlins on Barry Island.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if there was a lot of guerrilla filming going on. But the fairground movies, the fairground scenes, apparently they hired the whole fairground out.
Okay.
And then to get people in, they just gave them all free tickets.
Fine.
And just come in and be at the park.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of interesting stories about this film. A lot of interesting stuff goes on in this film. And I'm so excited to talk about it. Do you have a one-word review of it, Nick?
No, I don't. Do you know what? I found this really difficult.
No, I don't. You can't say no, I don't.
So, no, I have I have one. I have a review. It's not one word, I'm afraid.
Never
Sorry
is. Never has been. Call it one-word review. I've called it one-word review for 5 years. Never has been.
It's the famous 5 do meth. I was like, if I was writing a famous 5 story under the influence of a massive amount of drugs, would be what came out.
Yeah. Drugs have got to be a big thing in the writing room on this movie, have they not?
I have no idea.
They've got to be. I think we can say that now. It's 40 years old.
A fact then.
Go on.
Not a fact, a bit of context. So this movie is from 1987.
Yeah.
It's now 2024.
Yes.
But a lot of this movie is surrounding 1960.
Yes.
So there is more time between when this movie was made and now us sitting here than there was between 1960 and 1987.
Wow.
By quite a lot.
But a lot more, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Apparently the whole movie was supposed to be set in the 50s, but time and budget constraints didn't allow it, so it had to be rewritten.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it does. Where does this movie start, Nick?
At a hotel.
It does.
There's dancing. It's almost like a sort of home movie type.
Yeah, it's somebody's film
Projectionist.
home movieing.
But it's someone just recording goings on of, it's just the goings on in 1959 on New Year's Eve.
Yeah, it's New Year's Eve, 1959, going into 1960. The credits roll over this.
With a really 80s song playing.
Yeah.
It's none of it lines
As you
up.
said, the music doesn't make any sense. The credits roll in this in alphabetical order, which feels very 80s.
Yes.
That used to happen all the time in the 80s. And yeah, we're at a New Year's Eve party. People are dancing, people are having good times.
Gradually the party sort of winds down, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. There's the last few people remaining. They do a conga line and
Yep.
get out of there. And that leaves one lady. She's left behind. And she goes and checks herself out in a mirror that's in the room. And she gets pulled into this mirror.
Yeah.
And she screams. And we cut to the title card. And then we're going to hit our movie proper.
It's just one of many things that doesn't really ever make sense. There's this woman
She gets pulled into this mirror. She screams. And we never see her again. We come out of the title card to cut to people on a beach. So
frolicking in the summer.
Yeah, these are our main 5 or 6 people. They're enjoying themselves at a beach. A couple of them decide they want to go to the fair.
Yeah.
Or the fun fair.
There's 2 couples and a single gentleman.
Yes. So they do. They go over to the Barry Island Fun Fair, which is plastered on every ride, so you can't miss it. And there's basically a montage of them.
It's just a fairground montage.
Just, enjoying themselves at a fun fair in the 80s.
The 2 couples are going on loads of rides and stuff, and the guy who's on his own is like chatting up women.
Yeah. Spud, that
guy
was called. Because of course he was. But then we meet another lady who is on the waltzers.
On her own. In the middle of the day, in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
Being
harassed.
She is not. So the 3, I'll call them carnies.
Yeah.
Are spinning her waltzer.
Yes.
And won't let her off.
Yeah.
And at first she's like laughing, and then it's like, oh my God, I'm actually being.
So I've written carnies as well. There was 2 to start with. And they won't let her off. They keep going. The ride keeps going. The third carnie's in control of the ride. The older guy. He was in the hub in the middle.
Yeah.
And then he breaks out because a fight breaks out because Spud goes in to try and save her. and they're starting fighting. And then Rick comes over, who's one of the other guys, and all the boys are fighting each other.
Everything in this film feels really rapey.
Yeah.
Like, even when Spud's chatting women up, it just feels really
was a bit rapey.
Grubby, this movie, doesn't it?
Literally, in some places.
And, yeah, they try and save this woman from these carnies.
So I want to talk to you about one of these carnies.
Okay.
The older carny guy.
Yeah.
Did you recognise him?
No, absolutely not. I recognise no one from this movie.
So I was like, he looks really familiar. Where do I know his face from?
Yeah. The bald guy with like the long grey hair at the side.
Yeah, the oldish guy, quite large guy, funny shaped head, grey hair. And I'm like, and then when something just twigs, and I'm like, I know who you look like. I'm going to check if you are that person. And he is. And I was so excited with myself. I texted you, I was like, please tell me you've not spotted this connection. Do you know who he is?
No.
He plays John in Shaun of the Dead, who is the big fat barman who gets beaten with the snooker juice.
Yeah. Amazing.
And I'm like, how have I picked that? How have I got that from that? And I was so proud of myself.
He aged well.
He did age well until
when Shaun of the Dead came out.
Yeah, he's the guy who runs the bar in Shaun of the Dead.
The Winchester.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I said to you, I've spotted an extra in this movie. He's also an extra in Shaun of the Dead. Doesn't have any lines. I don't know. I just recognised him. There's like 30-year time difference.
I don't want to say he's typecast as a zombie. That would be giving too much away.
Don't spoil the movie, Nick. Jeez. Anyway, they're fighting on the waltzers. Whilst the waltzers are going on, Rick decides he's going to go and cut the power. So he spots.
That was not Rick, was it?
Was it not Rick?
Tom.
Was
that
it
was
Tom?
The other guy.
Yes,
yeah,
right,
with the
Sorry.
perm.
Sorry. Yeah, Tom with the perm. So you've got Rick and Tom and Spud are the three guys.
Yeah.
Leslie, Janet, and Carol are the three women.
Yeah.
Carol's the one on this ride now. So Tom goes under the ride, turns the power off, and that sends these three carnies flying.
Only the bad guys fly off comically. Like the old guy literally throws himself off and it was funny.
It was funny.
Yeah. Off the waltzer onto the ground.
While all this is going on, two of the girls, so that would be Leslie and Janet, have gone to see a fortune teller.
Yeah.
So they're having their fortune told at the same time as all this. Then the boys break in and say, come on, girls, we've got to go. We're being chased by these carnies. Because they've stolen the circuit breaker from the ride.
Yes, they have,
They can't turn the ride back on either.
So they're like throwing it to each other and running around the carnival.
So the girls leave. As the girls leave, the fortune teller picks up her crystal ball, looks into it and just screams.
Yeah.
So she can see what's going to happen in the rest of this movie. And then we all escape into the ghost train. Because if you're going to hide from some carnies, hide in a ghost train.
I mean, I don't know what it was like watching it on your fancy TV, but I couldn't see anything in this sequence.
No. What we should say as well is this film... Should we do that at this point? This film has been remastered.
Okay.
So it's in widescreen, which most 80s movies are not now. And the audio has been cleaned up. You can tell that.
Yeah.
Because if you compare it to Spaced Out, it looks oodles of time better. But then... I don't know how I've missed it, because you spotted something in this movie that I completely missed.
It looks terrible.
It looks fucking awful. And I've had to go and check it again since you've been here tonight.
Especially any of the outdoors where there's a lot of sky. So it just, the print is stained. It sort of looks like it's raining on the screen. It's not. It's just the print is just mucky. And
so apparently the film got really bad. The original film.
You didn't notice at all.
I didn't notice it at all. And you've had to even take me downstairs tonight and show me on my TV. And it does some scenes, it looks awful. But I don't know how I've missed it, but I have. But so the film was apparently really badly damaged and degraded. So a company took it on and remastered it. But they've not done a very good job, it turns out. But it's still in widescreen. It fills your whole telly.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we're all hiding in this ghost train. And then who was driving?
One of the girls.
They
just drive their Jeep
car
with a boat on the back
through
the ghost train into the ride.
Yeah, just smash through it. I'm assuming that was a set and wasn't the actual ghost train at Barry Island. But yeah, I was like,
and out the other side,
a bit over the top.
Well, it'd never work, surely.
Well, no, you wouldn't have thought so. But they've also destroyed this ghost train, and they get away. They're pulling a boat on a Jeep, and they manage to get away.
But
in this boat.
All the carnies are hanging on the edge of the boat.
Yeah, it was like something out of Wacky Races.
It was. So they have to. So the boys sort of fight these guys and throw them off the side of the boat.
Most of the boys are in the boat that's being pulled. They're not in the car.
And again, the Khan is comically leap off the boat.
Yeah, leap off the boat. And with our heroes get away. And the next time we see them, they're at sea. So they've taken this boat and gone out to sail away.
Why haven't they just
driven
on driving
away?
home?
I don't know. Because the rest of the movie wouldn't happen if it did. So yeah, they've sailed this sailboat. It's quite a big sailboat. It's got all of them on. And they're just having a day at sea now for some reason.
Talking and
drinking a few beers.
We learn that Carol's on holiday and the rest of her friends are arriving.
So Carol
tomorrow.
doesn't know any of these people. So she's kind of like in the group now. Then suddenly the boat hits a rock.
They just hit a rock because they can't drive boats, apparently.
Yeah, they didn't even see
in
a
the middle
rock.
of the sea.
It was really funny because there must be an island around here. And it was like, well, yeah. You must be able to see. You've
came from one.
You've just hit it for a start. Yeah, but not only did they hit a rock, they've managed to massively sink the boat. So Tom tries his best to plug the hole in the boat. Rick drops the sail down, and then the boat just sinks anyway. And they all fall into the sea in like knee deep water, and they wade to shore. So we've been expecting now to believe this mysterious island is just off the coast of Barry Island. And so they think, okay, let's go and explore this mysterious island that we've just found.
And literally, as soon as their toes touch sand, we hear some eerie music as someone sort of moves aside a branch on the island.
So somebody's watching them. Also, they have to climb over some barbed wire and a sign that says "Keep out danger."
Yeah,
but they ignore all that. Then they come across a piece of a plane, which appears to have crashed on this island because somebody says, "Oh, it doesn't look like we're the only ones that have ever crashed on this island." I'm like, it's like the prequel to Lost. But then they turn a corner and they stumble on a grand hotel.
Lost wishes it was this movie.
This movie wishes it was Lost. They stumble on a hotel called the Grand Island Hotel.
Yes.
So I don't know if this is a grand hotel on an island or if the island's called Grand Island and this is its hotel.
Idea.
Don't know. But it's got this massive hotel on it. So they're like, okay, well, we'll just go in here, have a drink, regroup, see what's going on.
Ask for help, get back.
Yeah.
Still got all the Christmas decorations up.
Yeah, when they go inside, all the Christmas decorations up. And it is pointed out by one of our characters that it is mid-July. So
quick on the uptake.
Why are we got our Christmas decorations up?
And the place is clearly completely empty.
Yeah, there's nobody there. It's completely deserted. There's no power. They go around and try power in different rooms. Yeah. So what they decide to do is just go and help themselves to the bar.
Sure.
So why not?
Spud and Carol get a fire lit, don't they?
Yep. So, Spud and Carol go off and light a fire. Tom and Leslie go off to the bar.
And Rick
and Janet
go upstairs somewhere else. Look, she wants to change her clothes because she's all wet.
Yeah. So we follow Leslie. Leslie goes to the window in the bar to open the curtains. And when she opens the curtains, there's a mysterious face at the window.
Yeah.
Again,
like Biggles.
We never see him again.
No, it was the
pilot of the plane. Then a maid comes in to Carol
by the fire
to give her a blanket.
Yeah. And she says, "Don't worry about the others; they are being taken care of."
Yeah. Mysterious, but okay. And then we find out Janet's just gone and decided to have a bath in one of the rooms.
Yeah.
Just walk into a hotel and have a bath. And Rick's stripped off as well. He's going to join her.
And we see some items moving. Like
we do.
There's a poltergeist.
Yeah, the shower cable starts moving and all sorts of weird stuff starts happening. Spud, meanwhile, he's gone to explore. He hears some music coming.
Finds the ballroom.
He finds like the function room. So he walks in there and there's a band playing on the stage.
There are.
But there's not.
No, because there isn't.
There's no band there. They keep going in and out of his vision. He can see them and then he can't see them. So he's a bit confused. He wants to leave at this point. He's like, this is weird. We need to get out of here. Rick and Jan then decide they're going to get dressed in somebody else's clothes.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, they must be costumes. They're all 50s clothes.
Yeah, it's all 50s clothes. And
he even does his hair like a teddy boy,
he does.
He? The old duck's bum.
He does, duck's bum. So you can just break into a hotel, go and use the bath and put somebody else's clothes on.
And not ask any questions as to why no one's there. Normally, everything looks like it's in the 50s.
Normally in a film, I'd be like, you can't do that. But then you have... That's the most normal thing that happens in this movie.
Yeah, true.
They start canoodling on the beds. Canoodling? I've said canoodling. They start canoodling on the bed. And you can see a reflection in the mirror as somebody's watching them.
Yeah.
And they've got the same dress on.
It's the girl from the start, and she's
is.
really sad and she cries.
Yes.
She's still stuck there.
Leslie tells Tom that she wants to do it on a snooker table.
Yeah, she's like really horny, and he's like
super
"We can't
horny
do
all
it
of a
here."
sudden. Yeah. I don't know where this horniness has come from. Tom's not so keen.
He's like, well, we need to look for the fuse box, try and turn the power on, but not before I've had a game of snooker.
Yeah, I'm going to have a quick game of snooker first. When they leave the room, because they decide then to go and find the fuse box, when they leave the room, the snooker table re-racks itself.
Yeah.
So all the balls that he'd been playing with just go back into order. Spud then goes and tells Carol that he wants to go. He's had enough. But Tom and Leslie have decided to go to search the basement.
Yeah, because they're looking for the fuse box.
Yeah.
And they even light a candle, even though this is the most well-lit basement I've ever seen in any of these films.
Yeah.
And it's daytime all the way through this movie.
Yeah, it is. It's one of the first horror movies that's never set at night. So they've got a candle. They're walking around this very light room. You've even got shadows on the wall from the sun. She sets upon him again.
Yeah,
she gets all horny again. Pushes him down and sets on him. And they drop the candle, but that doesn't seem to make any difference. And they find the fuse box.
Yeah.
And then, as they pull the fuse or try and light it all back up, suddenly a shitload of fireworks start going off.
I feel like he switched the fuses on and it's made the fireworks go off.
I think something's got cut here because they dropped that candle.
Yeah.
So I think they've dropped that candle into the fireworks.
Yeah.
But that's not been
The
done.
edit was awful. Everything instantly turns on.
Yeah, all the electrics in the hotel
So all the Christmas decorations and stuff. And a Hoover falls downstairs.
Yeah, that starts weaving
That
on
was
its own.
just on the stairs. And this was my favourite bit of the film.
Yeah.
So they flick the power on.
Yeah.
So, TVs switch on in the hotel and stuff. And because they flick the power on, a very clearly battery-operated Santa starts walking along the desk of the reception.
Really did.
That's not how electricity works.
You turn it. Electricity just doesn't work in a room unless it's turned on, no matter what it's powered by. They all head upstairs, but we get left with a TV show.
Yeah.
So there's a TV show on the TV, and in true bottom of the stream style, it's a news report.
It is, yeah.
And it's an interview with 3 scientists. And I think it's from 1960, but it's obviously been played to us now.
It's also like the power is. So let me get this right. In my mind, this movie is saying to us, right? They've turned the power on.
Yeah.
And it's the first time it's been on since New Year's Eve
60.
And so when they've turned the power on, the TVs have just carried on broadcasting
From what they were.
from when they were switched off.
This hotel isn't also a 50s building.
No.
This is quite clearly an 80s hotel.
But I just love the idea that
The TVs
the logic
are just
is
paused. It's like a video.
All the broadcasters just paused.
Yeah, there's a time warp going on here.
I think you're giving it a lot of credit.
If I'm to understand what's going on now, these scientists are arguing about this scientific experiment that was conducted in the early part of 1960, or literally New Year's Day 1960, to send up a plane that was anti-radar plane.
It's basically an invisible plane.
They were going to make invisible for a minute.
Yeah.
And these scientists are arguing about
technology.
whether this was the right thing to do because it would mess with the space-time continuum. And there's this big debate going on about whether it should have been done, but it has been done. But unfortunately, they lost the plane because it went invisible. It's
not come back after the minute.
Bear in mind, we've seen the remains of a plane on our mysterious island. So they all get changed. Our guys all get changed. They meet back in the bar.
They do. And Carol's like, she just offhand says, oh, what if we're stuck in a time warp?
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all that's mentioned in the movie.
It's the only time it's mentioned in the whole movie. She says, isn't it funny how we've all met today and now we're stuck in a time warp?
Yeah.
I'm like, have you figured this out? This place also has a cinema built in. So they go and think, well, we'll just watch a film. Well, they hear some noises, don't they?
Yeah. I get it's because they've turned the power on. So this movie started
playing in the cinema room. And they're showing a horror movie. So they sit down in their couples and just think.
Apart from Rick, he goes and he's like, oh, go and see if anyone's in the projector room.
Yeah, but there wasn't. No. It was playing to itself. The film ends, and everybody's annoyed because they've missed most of the film and only seen the end.
But then the second projector starts.
Yes. Which is pointing at the same cinema screen.
Yeah.
But this is showing footage of the actual hotel itself.
Yeah, like the footage similar to what we saw at the start of the movie. So people partying and just enjoying the hotel.
Yeah.
And there's a shake in the movie.
Yeah.
Like a
Yeah, I don't know what was
Middle
going on.
Eastern shake.
Yeah. It was black and white.
Yeah.
Spud starts making fun of this movie and dancing in front of it.
You know, we talked last week about Mary Poppins dropping a term from... There's a term in this which Spud uses.
Oh, really?
I won't repeat, about the ethnicity of this person in this whole movie. He's like, I could be like that, and he starts like standing up
gyrating
straight,
in front of the screen, making everybody laugh.
Yeah.
And then this black and white shake jumps out of the movie screen and attacks him.
And he's like a ghostly...
Yeah. Like a ghostly white figure.
Yeah.
Black and white character from this movie.
Wearing the same costume.
Comes out of the movie screen, attacks Spud, scratches his face, and seemingly
kills him dead.
Yeah. Yeah, Spud is no more.
But I was like, oh, he's lightly grazed him. Oh, no, he's dead.
Yeah, Spud is dead. He's just dead now. One of the girls, Janet, I think it was Janet, runs off in hysterics.
The ghost shake then flies into the projector.
Yeah.
Like back into where the movie reels are. and Rick trips over because he's been... The same reel has sort of wrapped itself around
his legs and trips him up.
So Rick runs off after Janet.
Yeah, Janet runs off in hysterics.
Screaming.
She's screaming. Catches up with her. He says, I don't know what's happened to Spud. He is dead. It must have been an electric shock.
Yeah.
Even though everybody saw what actually happened.
Well, she even says to him, no one, you didn't see it. We all saw it.
We all saw it. This guy jumped out of the screen.
Rick.
Yeah.
Tom and Leslie decide, seemingly quite unaffected by the death of their friend.
Yeah.
We'll go and look for some other buildings.
Yeah, we'll go around the island
Is
to see
there
if we can
anything
find
else
something what's going on.
And they find one immediately.
Yeah. And when they leave Carol on her own, she just waits on a swing.
Yeah.
She sits on a swing waiting. And yeah, they do. Tom and Leslie instantly find a house. They open the door.
And Leslie gets caught by a ghost net.
Yeah, a ghost fishing net just captures Leslie and starts... It's got like hooks in and it starts digging into her skin, ripping her skin.
And a rope sort of wraps itself around her legs.
Yeah. So...
Tom uses... Not using the correct tool, I would say.
No.
A full-on axe.
He gets an axe and he... I want to say he gets an axe and kills this net.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what he did. He
makes one chop on the net and it kind of screams stops being haunted. My next note... would you like to read your next note?
My next note says, strangest scene ever, ? And then the next scene happens and that's way much different. Go on.
I've got a tablecloth monster grabs Leslie.
Then Leslie gets attacked by a killer tablecloth. Because Leslie's like, I need to sort my cuts and bruises out.
Yeah.
I'm going to go sit at this table. So she sits at this table, or she goes to, and the tablecloth attacks her.
Yeah.
It becomes humanified.
Yes.
And she gets attacked by a killer tablecloth. Which then Tom stabs to death with a
harpoon
hook, boat hook thing.
And then he then cries out like he's been stabbed.
Yeah.
But we don't see what stabbed him, where it stabbed him.
Or what's happened.
Yeah.
The tablecloth turns...
It's very confusing.
The tablecloth turns back into a tablecloth and is back on the table.
So we think Tom is wounded.
Yeah.
We think Leslie's all right.
Yeah, we think she's fine. Rick and Janet... Is it Janet? Yeah, Rick and Janet, meanwhile, can hear voices laughing at them.
Yeah, like there's a party going on outside.
But there's not. There's nobody there. The
just
trees are
shaking
rustling.
a bush. Yeah.
So they run back to Carol.
So it's like they're being chased by the tree. Like we see, we're the camera sort of going through the grass at floor level, and then
it's like they're being chased by us.
Every time they hear laughter, someone's just shaking a bush.
branch.
I put this was very Garth Marenghi.
Yeah, it was.
This
movie feels very influential to Garth Marenghi. It feels like an episode of Garth Marenghi's Star Plays. Then they get to the beach, and there's a load of footsteps just appear on the beach.
Yes. Then they unappear backwards.
Then they unappear backwards. Then they hear a plane flying over, but they can't see it.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, this plane that they can't see crashes into a fireball that they very much can see.
Indeed.
So they think, well, we better go and check that out. We've just seen a disappearing plane crash. By the time they get there, this fire has gone out.
Yeah.
Because it's obviously a vision of the past that they've seen. And it's crashed into another building. And I'm starting to believe these guys weren't on an island. I think they'd just gone around the bay a bit.
Yeah, and the like ghost burnt pilot is standing behind Rick, and this is the person who we've seen also looking at them
looking
through
at
the
them
woods.
through the woods. He's just standing there in a mirror looking
Yeah.
at them. But they obviously can't see him. He sees a man in a reflection, doesn't he?
Yes.
Meanwhile, Carol's also seeing people wandering around. She sees the maid again.
Who she saw earlier gave her
Yeah.
a blanket.
So
So
she
she follows
follows
her.
her.
She says, "Oh, excuse me. I'll talk to you."
Yeah. So she goes. This maid goes into I think it was another room in the actual hotel,
Yeah.
but around a different door. This is the weirdest scene in the movie. Yeah. This next one.
Maybe.
So she goes in, and suddenly there's a snowstorm going
Someone
on
turns on the snow machine, yeah.
inside this house, and it's lightning and raining and snowing, and she's battling against the elements
Yeah.
in this building. The maid's disappeared. She's gone.
Yeah, she's totally gone.
She kind of hides in a corner of the room and eventually manages to get out.
Yeah, this snow and wind and rain forces her out.
Yeah.
And then she looks and notices on the table in this building she's just been forced out of, there's a snow globe
Yeah.
it's a really cheaply made sort of
Doll.
in this snow globe. But it's wearing the same dress as Carol is.
Yeah, it's basically her.
So she's trapped.
So is that implying that she was trapped in a snow globe?
Was she trapped already, or was she trapped in the future?
Who knows?
No one.
Because when she looks back through the window, there's nothing going on inside.
Correct.
Everything's fine.
Very localized snowfall.
Leslie then runs back to get Rick, and at the same time, Carol arrives there as well. So everybody needs Rick because Rick's a man. And she says something's happened to Tom, but she doesn't know what's happened to Tom, even though she was with Tom.
No, she says Tom's in trouble.
Yeah. So they're all back together now.
Yeah.
So they go, apart from Tom, who we don't know what's happened to him. So they go back to this house that they were in with the tablecloth monster. Do you remember that?
And Tom's not there.
Tom's not there, so Rick's like, well, I'll go and have a look around the house.
Yeah, and he's like, this was hilarious. He's like, I'll just go check out this door, and then falls out off a cliff.
Yeah. So he opens this door, and there's just nothing on the other side except for a cliff. A proper Beetlejuice moment.
So
and he's clinging onto the door
handle. Yeah.
And the girls, it takes 3 of the girls to pull him back in because girls. And they get him back inside. They assume that Tom has fallen out of this door and is at the bottom of this cliff.
Yeah.
They just assume that. And then the guy from the fun fair shows up.
All of a sudden, the lead carny turns up, and he just punches Rick out.
Yeah. Just attacks him. He's got like a chain right around his wrist. Knocks Rick out. And then this is the weirdest scene of the movie.
Yeah.
So he punches Leslie in the stomach, and his fist goes straight through her.
Yeah.
And she turns into a monster, or a zombie, or a ghost, or something.
Yeah, and she got super strange because she picks this guy up and trucks him through the wall of the house.
Straight through the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's got like a mouldy face.
Yeah.
I've put a WTF question mark.
What has gone on? So Leslie's dead, we assume, turned into a ghost.
So we've got ghosts, zombies,
monsters, carnies,
and a time traveling radar
pilot,
invisible plane.
And we're not even halfway through yet, people. There's loads left to go. Yeah, she throws that guy through the wall. Rick throws a net and a flare at Leslie.
I think this net was low-key the best actor in this movie.
Yeah.
Because
we've not even talked about the acting. Some of the acting is very questionable.
Because nets are clearly Leslie's nemesis, whether she's a zombie or not.
Yeah, he throws a net at her and he throws a flare at her, and then he locks her in the room.
Yeah.
So he's taken Leslie out of the equation. As we're going back, Jan gets sucked into some quicksand.
Sure, got to be quicksand.
Yeah.
But they all pull her out fairly easily.
Rick and Carol kind of rescue her and pull her out as if it wasn't that big a problem. Jan decides she wants to to swim back to the mainland.
They find themselves on the shore, and Janet says, well, let's just give it a go. Let's just swim.
Rick says, no, you'll drown. We can't do that. And then the
cliff
cliff starts to fall on them.
Yeah, we need to go back to the hotel.
All these rocks start to fall. So they run back to the hotel, lock themselves inside. So they go and check all the windows and doors are locked. Somebody's knocking on the front door, and it sounds like it was Leslie.
Yeah, we hear her voice. Let me in, guys, let me in.
Then they go and close all the shutters on the windows in the bar, which incidentally were curtains earlier. And the jukebox starts playing on its own.
It does, yeah. And
then we cut to the bar, and my only thing I can say is a man with a machete breaks through the back of the bar, through the wall.
Through the wall. This was another one of the carnies.
Yeah, it was.
But he doesn't go through the window.
No. It's like, like an old 80s bar. He comes
through the mirror of the back of the bar.
The back of a bar used to be all mirror.
Yeah.
He breaks through that with his machete and attacks them all again.
Carol just glasses him.
Carol just glasses him. Janet runs off. She gets confronted by the other guy, another funfair guy. And he's chasing her and holding her up against the wall.
Yeah.
And as he does that, Leslie bursts through the ceiling. Zombie Leslie ghost monster bursts through the ceiling, like the ceiling rose, grabs him off. Janet manages to run away. And she turns his head 360 degrees twice, 720 degrees. Yeah, she just literally spins his head around for him, and that kills that guy off. Meanwhile, Rick's gone off. He's found a shotgun.
He has.
Next scene, weirdest scene in the movie.
Possibly. Janet's running around trying to find...
She's just running around aimlessly like a crazy person. And suddenly, the staircase bites her.
Yeah.
So the bottom...
The decorative...
knob
at the bottom of the banister turns into like a beaked...
demon-y
bird
I don't
thing.
know. A big thing with a big
and traps her wrist onto the stairs.
So she gets bitten by a wooden animal. So she's screaming at the bottom of the stairs. Leslie's on her way down the stairs to get her. Rick's at the top of the stairs with a shotgun.
Yeah.
Rick shoots at Leslie with the shotgun.
Which
rips open a big hole in her stomach.
And then he shoots her again.
Yeah, which makes no difference whatsoever.
Which doesn't make any sound.
No.
But that kills her.
That's the one that kills her.
Yeah. And it was, again, it makes sense now from what you said about the sound editing. And
the sound's all over the place. So she screams and falls to the floor. Carol, meanwhile, manages to kill the wooden thing.
Yeah, they free Janet.
But then Rick approaches Leslie and hacks her arm off.
Yeah, for no reason.
For no reason. Dead Leslie has got an arm off now. I think it was the machete that the guy left. Because that's what's also...
But she was already dead, and he's just going to town her.
And chopped her arm off. So that machete's killed...
And also, when they prize this bottom of the banister away, that is also like got bone and it's bleeding.
It's inside. That's chopped off with a machete as well. So they all... Janet and Rick then leave that room, and as they leave the room, we see that wooden stair thing just restore itself.
Yeah.
That's back to normal now. Janet then says to Rick...
The one sensible thing uttered in this movie is now by Janet. She finally, someone put 2 and 2 together and says, hang on, how did those funfair guys get here?
They must have a boat.
They must have a boat. I'm like, for God's sake, finally.
But before she says that, she makes Rick promise that if she turns into what Leslie turns into, he won't kill her. Which he does. So they realise that the funfair people must have arrived on the island on a boat. So they decide to go out and see if they can find a boat. But as they go out, Tom turns up.
Yeah, he falls
through the door at them.
Wounded, babbling.
Yeah. And he's just babbling Leslie's name over and over again. So Janet's like...
Forget about my boat idea I just had.
Yeah, forget that.
13 seconds ago.
Also, I do want to leave this hotel, but I'm going to stay here now.
Yeah.
Janet decides, I'll stay with Tom. You and Carol go off, see if you can find the boat.
Yeah, and then come back and get us.
Yeah. So Rick and Carol leave, and they follow a guy who's running away from them, which is unusual because everybody else has come for them.
Yeah.
But they spot a guy who runs away, so they follow him. And there's loads of mirrors hanging in the trees.
Yeah, that are acting like a wind chime.
Yeah.
They're bits of shattered mirror.
And when they go through these bits of mirrors and trees, they find the actual plane crash site.
Yeah, which is different.
Which is different to the two we've already seen.
Yeah. And there's a radio still transmitting, like a Mayday.
Yeah, the Mayday signal from the plane. There's a tent there. So whoever did crash has survived. But we've seen 3 crash sites for this plane now.
Yeah.
Carol sees the pilot.
Yeah, the ghost/zombie pilot appears.
And then my next note says Rick explodes his head off.
Yeah, I don't even know what he used.
No.
Like, I don't know if he just punched him, but he kind of chops this pilot's head off and he just turns to plasticine.
Yeah, his head like exploded and he turned to dust. And then there was just a pile of clothes on the floor.
Yeah, and the campsite like clears up, and I'm like, oh, have they freed him? Have they done a good deed?
Maybe.
Has he been released?
The whole
somehow?
campsite disappears.
It makes no sense.
No. We said this.
Don't know what's happened in this bit.
No, I don't understand.
They immediately spot the boat from where
they
they're
go back
standing.
to try and bloody headphones. They go back to try and find the boat and immediately find it from exactly where they were.
Which I will point out as well. I think at this point, the boat, I thought to myself, oh, that boat's quite far out.
Yeah.
They're going to have to just swim a bit.
Same.
It's in a different place later on.
Yeah, it absolutely is in a different place later on. So at this point, we find out that Tom is now not Tom. So they've fallen for the same thing that they fell for with Leslie. And Tom, Ghost Tom, Zombie Tom, Monster Tom, attacks Janet, who leaves the room and pushes a Christmas tree onto him.
It really takes him ages to get out from under this fairly normal sized Christmas
tree. It wasn't. Yeah. It was a fake one. She then runs off and hides in a lift because that's the best place to hide.
Chops his fingers off.
Chops his arm off.
Yeah, well, yeah, fingers first.
Fingers first. So she chops his fingers off with the door of the lift.
Yeah.
Then she starts the lift moving, and that chops his arm off. Because bear with. I can now only hear in one ear.
That's all you need. Yes, his arm is in the lift, and then she operates the lift and takes his arm with her.
Takes his arm with her. Then the lift develops some arms.
Yes.
Because the back of the lift turns into like, what's that film where this is very famous from? The Haunting, is it?
Yeah, it's kind of
one
like...
of the walls develops her arms and grabs her and
pulls her in.
Hugs her and pulls her in. So she's now, I've written she's part of the lift now.
And
Rick turns up.
Yeah, they can hear her screaming.
Yes.
So they kind of call the lift back.
And, I can hear in two ears again. It's great. Rick starts going crazy because Janet's his girlfriend and he's just lost her.
Yeah, and they can just see the faint shape of her disappearing into the wall by the time they call the lift back.
And then just as all this is kicking off, the third funfair guy shows up.
Yes.
I don't know where he came from. So they run away from him.
It's the same guy who came through the back of the bar. It's the machete guy.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. So they see this maid again that's just wandering around. But then she vanishes. And so they follow her to go into the kitchen.
Yeah.
And he follows them. So this is all going to kick off in the kitchen now. And they don't really have a fight. He just falls into a huge pot of boiling water.
The kitchen comes alive.
Yeah, it does.
And then I've put the carny falls into a cauldron.
Yeah.
Which burps him out.
Huge pot of boiling stuff in this kitchen. Big enough for a man to fall into.
I felt like I was on something for the rest of this movie now.
Yeah, if you think it's been crazy from now on, the whole thing, this whole movie's insane. There's a lot of drugs in this movie. So this guy's dead. He's been boiled alive in this pot. The kitchen then resets itself. Everything goes in reverse.
Yeah, Rick and Janet hide themselves in a cupboard, and then the whole kitchen resets itself back to where it was.
Yeah, and then Leslie's arm reattaches itself on the stairs, and she wakes up. Rick can hear Janet calling him through the walls. And then a lady appears on the stage in the function room, which is where Carol and...
They're now in the ballroom,
Carol and Rick have got to the ballroom. A lady compere appears on stage. And she starts saying how this is a dance competition and Carol and Rick are the contestants.
Yeah.
And she's like, you can't leave. We're here forever, this lady says.
And then, for no reason whatsoever other than to inform the audience of whatever plot there likely is in this movie, she basically says there was a plane carrying a time and matter shattering device.
Yeah.
Which crashed on this island, and it has locked us in here in time forever.
Yeah.
Whether we are dead or alive. And that's all the explanation you're getting.
That's your explanation for this movie. So these people have been stuck here since the 50s. For some reason, they've turned murderous.
Because this plane crashed on New Year's Eve?
Yeah.
Weird time to test a plane, but okay.
Yeah. Because we got past midnight. We know we did. We saw midnight. But they're going to be here forever now. It's basically what this woman says. You're all caught here. There's no escape ever.
But then they don't have to do the dance competition because the door's just open.
Yeah, the door's just open. We forget the dance competition. They run again. They go back into the room of the snooker table.
Yeah, the games room.
And then Spud just suddenly turns up. Yeah. Zombie monster ghost Spud turns up. He attacks Carol. Rick kills him again this time just with a snooker cue. This guy's the easiest guy to kill in movie history. Then the first funfair guy, he's back as well.
Yeah, he's
like
already
a zombie
been dead
now.
once. Yeah, now he's back as a zombie.
I think he's been dead twice. He then gets attacked by the snooker table.
I'll just put they have to now escape of some very slow moving furniture.
Yeah.
Because like the snooker table was rolling around the room, and so is like the pinball machine.
Yeah.
But Rick and Carol are never in any danger because they just kind of avoid this furniture.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Spud turns up again. He grabs Carol again, and Rick takes him out again. Jan's still in the walls. We can still hear her going. The pace of this movie now as well is manic. All sorts of stuff's going on.
They climb up on top of the snooker table, don't they?
So Carol and Rick climb onto the snooker table, and all of the other ghost zombie, whatever they are, they all come in.
They just walk in through the door.
The rest of the cast of this movie just return, all of them.
And they all surround them on this table. I was like, well, this is it. They're getting taken out.
Come and join us. Stop fighting now. That's all
Yeah.
they keep saying over and over again.
I don't know what the fuck happens.
I don't know.
The table just throws them out the window.
So the table
it
starts
lets them
spinning
go.
around.
Yeah.
And the table rescues them.
Yeah.
So the snooker table decides it's going to rescue these people. There's a sentence I never thought I'd hear myself say.
And it launches them out the
them
window.
both through the window. So when they land on the floor, they get themselves back up. The window isn't smashed.
No.
And when they look through the window, the snooker table and everything in the room is normal.
Yeah.
It's laid, it's set, what you could racked. Everything's gone back to normal. So they run to the boat that they saw earlier.
Yeah. Which is now on the beach.
Which is now on the beach in a completely different part of the island than it was earlier. So Rick puts Carol in the boat, and then Jan is on the beach calling him.
Yeah. Don't leave me.
Don't leave me. Don't leave me here. How can you? He falls for this for the third time.
Yeah.
Runs back to her, and then he gets stuck in quicksand.
He does.
Which pulls him in to his neck. And then the fat funfair guy shows up again.
Yeah.
And he's got the outboard motor of a speedboat. And he just, presumably, because we don't see it, unfortunately, takes Rick's head off.
Yeah.
It's like, it's on, and he's just got it like it's a chainsaw, and he takes Rick's head off. There was an opportunity there for some really good gore.
There was no gore in this movie. Considering
Not any.
the deaths in this movie,
I think
they were all off camera.
I think that was probably the director's main objections with it, because he likes a bit of gore. So Rick's now dead. Carol's on the boat on her own. Janet's on the island. And then Carol's on the boat, and then suddenly she screams.
She thinks she's safe.
Yeah, she's got away. She's out to sea. Suddenly she screams, and she gets sucked through the bottom of the boat
into the sea.
And then suddenly everybody's back in the hotel partying
at the New Year's Eve party
of 1959.
Except Carol.
Except Carol, who's looking at them through a window or a mirror.
She's the other side of the mirror, like the woman at the start.
And she's just knocking on this mirror and screaming at them. And she's like, help me, and she screams.
Yeah.
And the movie's got the Shining ending. And that's it. That's the end of this absolutely batshit crazy piece of cinema.
It's nightmare fuel, this thing is, I tell you. Why is she behind the mirror? What's the whole bit stuck in a mirror world type thing?
Why is that? That's a theme through the whole. That makes sense if it's Janet, because she got sucked into the wall.
Yeah.
But Carol didn't. She's out there dancing with the rest of them.
So is she there with the woman who was there before, who got sucked into the mirror in the 60s?
Maybe. Or has she been released?
But they're different to all these people partying out. What is happening here? What is this?
Clue. I have not got a clue.
It's nonsensical.
It's absolute batshit nonsense. But it's fucking brilliant.
What does make sense in this movie?
Nothing. Not a single sentence of this movie makes sense. Literally not one piece of it.
The acting is so bad.
The acting is... Considering all these people, most of them have got a good IMDb list of stuff. They've all done stuff. That guy was in the bill for 100-odd episodes. They're awful. Everybody in it is awful. There's nobody who's even redeeming. But
I mean, I know the director said he gave up on it when he got to sound editing, but I don't think the sound editing's going to...
It feels like he gave up on it a long time before that.
The whole thing of trying to something about a invisible spy plane carrying a
So if I'm understanding, let's see if we can break it down what's
not
happened
possible
here. So it gets to 1959. It hits midnight.
Yeah.
We see that happen. The party winds down. So I'm assuming 2-3 o'clock in the morning, that first lady gets sucked into the mirror. She's the last one in the room.
Okay.
So at some point between midnight and then, this plane has crashed on the island.
Caused everyone else who's at the hotel to
everybody who's in the hotel has stayed in the hotel, even though we only ever really see like 3 people. The pilot is haunting the outside of the hotel.
Yeah.
And this has caused a time loop.
Because not
even a time loop. Time
remember
warp.
the plane is carrying what was it? I've written it down.
Time and space shattering.
A time and matter shattering device crashed here.
Yes. So basically, all it's done is kept these people stuck in that moment of the New Year's Eve 1959.
Yeah. Apart from the woman who was behind a mirror in a mirror world for some reason.
Yeah. And also it's turned some of the murderers.
Yeah.
Also, wooden staircases come to life.
Inanimate objects come to life.
Tablecloths come to life.
And can turn people to zombies.
Nets and stuff like that can turn people to zombies. Or ghosts, or zombie ghosts.
Yeah.
And you can't ever leave. And then if you do get murdered, you're then stuck in this time warp as well.
Yeah.
A bit like The Shining.
So you can be dead and stuck there, alive and stuck there, a ghost and stuck there, a zombie and stuck there, maybe a zombie ghost.
Yeah.
And it's also made inanimate things come to life. I think that's about the half of
I think we've got it covered. We've absolutely got it covered.
And this island's just sitting there, really easily reachable, just off the coast of Barry Island.
Yeah, like within 5 minutes sail of Barry
with
Island.
One lame bit of barbed wire and a half-assed sign saying "Danger, keep out."
Yeah. So presumably somebody knows this thing's happened.
Yeah, someone's
because they've cordoned off the island, and everybody else.
That's giving a bad name to cordons, but
right,
yeah.
So, and everybody else has just forgotten this island and this hotel and this
Sure.
house ever existed in the first place.
Yeah. Apart from these people who have been chased by 3 carnival workers because of a minor incident on some waltzers.
Yeah. Those 3 guys turned murderers because the guys rescued a lady from their waltzers.
Yeah. And they
they turned it with machetes and chains and
they wanted their circuit breaker back.
They chased them from one island to another.
Which probably cost about 2 shillings.
Yeah. But what a time. What a time to be alive.
Also, this movie both simultaneously looks like it's in the 80s and looks like, when you think about other movies that came out in around this time, this thing looks like it could have been made in the 60s.
Yeah. This is the lowest of low budgets. There's no money's been spent on this movie whatsoever.
It's but then it's in a really weird place because you would never say it was like one of these 80s video nasties because you don't see anything. At all. No. The goriest it gets is when Leslie gets shot.
Yeah,
but there's loads of gory things happen, but it cuts away, or you don't see them, or it's off screen. Or
I debate whether this should even be a 15.
Yeah,
it's maybe should.
No, it'd fuck anyone up who doesn't.
Well, it fucks everybody up anyway. I tell you what though, it's a great fun watch.
Oh,
it's so much fun because the pace of it is manic, and you don't get time to write a note. You don't get time to even contemplate what's happened in one scene. So the next one's going.
I was so discombobulated by the whole thing.
Yeah, it's
don't know if I enjoyed it until after.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it but I was thinking, there's no filler in this. There's a lot of these movies suffer from like, we'll do a montage to save some time. We'll put some boring talky scenes in. This goes from 0 to 100 and stays there. There's constantly something happening. It's all batshit, but there's constantly something.
It almost feels like every single thing that was shot is in this movie.
Yeah,
just
definitely.
Put together in a vaguely random order.
And anything that was even remotely boring is not in this movie. I feel like my life is better because I've seen this movie. Because I love that things like this exist.
My life is different.
Yes.
Having seen this movie.
I love that things like this exist. And I love that this sort of thing is on Netflix.
It's crazy that this is on Netflix.
So we've seen Spaced Out.
Yeah.
Which obviously we're going to have to compare it to now. Because that's the same director. And they're both on Netflix. I'm assuming there's some sort of deal that's been made to get these 2 movies together. This is oodles of time better than Spaced Out.
That is offensive and boring.
Yeah.
This is
silly and
crazy. Fun.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely batshit.
It's still a terrible movie, but it's fun terrible.
Yeah. I feel like we've had a good laugh talking about this.
Yeah.
And I had a great laugh watching it. Because you just laugh at it.
I feel like it's almost indescribable.
Yeah.
It's just...
It's not like anything I've ever seen before. We've done a few 80s movies on this show now, but this doesn't even match.
This is completely out there.
What's the best thing about it?
I don't know if there's a... I'd struggle. Objectively, I struggle to say
If you're talking movie, then yeah,
Yeah.
there's nothing good about it. There's no good acting. It looks terrible. It sounds terrible. The story's nonsense. The acting's terrible.
I think it's the fact that it is there on Netflix.
I think it's just the pace of it is great because it never stops moving.
No, because if it stopped moving, you'd have to think about how bad it is.
Yeah, and it never does. It never stops.
I guess the makeup's not terrible on the rotten zombie woman.
I don't know. I think
considering it would have cost 2p.
I think this movie's cost 2p.
Yeah.
I think hiring that fare at Barry is probably the biggest expense of this movie. What would you change about it?
I'd love to see a modern remake.
I was just going to say, would you watch a remake?
Give it to the Asylum to remake or something.
Yeah, I feel like, or give it to Garth Marenghi to remake.
Yeah.
He pretty much has.
Yeah.
Dark Place is pretty much a remake of this movie.
I think it's a good shout. I think that this sort of thing is really an influence on that show.
Yeah, definitely. This is where he's got his influence.
The chase scene when they're being chased by invisible people and swirling bushes is just totally Dark Place.
Yeah. Most of it is the wooden stair animal is. If he hasn't seen this movie, I'd be amazed.
Yeah,
Absolutely amazed. Right. Shall we put it in the stream table?
Yes.
Do you want me to read through the whole thing?
Why not?
This is the 10th movie of season 10.
Oh, double figures.
So currently at number 9 is Riptide. Currently number 8 is Hard Feelings. Number 7 is Hypnotic. Number 6 is Sundogs. Number 5 is Bubble. Number 4 is Finder's Fee. Number 3 is The Girl in the Yellow Jumper. Number 2 is 60 Minutes. And number 1 is The Call. I feel like we're going to be a long way off on this.
It's the worst movie we've seen this season.
It's the worst movie we've seen this season.
Yeah.
It isn't going bottom of my stream table.
It's going bottom of mine.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Even though it's that much fun?
Yeah, it is fun, yeah.
But it's that much fun. You're telling me that this is better, this is worse than Riptide?
I didn't mind Riptide.
I didn't mind Riptide, but I'd watch this over Riptide.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't have this bottom and I wouldn't have it next bottom either. For me, this goes between Hypnotic and Hard Feelings.
Okay.
I think it's better than those two movies. I think just because of what it is, how much fun it is, all the shit that goes down in it.
It's fun and it's meant and it's so random, but it's not my sort of movie.
Oh, it's 100% my sort of movie. I absolutely loved it, and I get that it isn't your sort. This is where we differ because this is the sort of movie I want to do every week on the show. I would happily do a podcast that's just this kind of movie, and this is where me and you differ slightly, but.
No, so I would as well because there's just so much to pick apart, but it's not because it's horror and it's a genre. Do you know what I mean? It
isn't even a horror movie. It's I don't know what genre this goes in because what does IMDb have it as?
I think it's you've got to say it's a horror movie, surely.
So according to IMDb, it's a comedy, horror, mystery, sci-fi, which I think is fair. Because it is all of those things.
It's definitely a mystery to me. Yeah.
I don't know if they were going for comedy in the 80s, but they got it. I'd have it 8th. You'd have it 10th.
I'm fine with it being 8th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought we were going to split the difference.
No. I'm fine with it being 8th. It's because it is just down to personal preference.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like what? Yeah.
Come the end of the season, you're going to remember this film better than you're going to remember those.
Definitely, two. But I sat back and felt like. I've been assaulted by this movie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I did as well, but I'd quite enjoyed the assault. It's not the sort of
thing
I'm gonna call the police over.
As I touched on earlier, I think I enjoyed it more after looking back at it. When I was actually watching it, well, I don't think I was actually enjoying it as I was watching it, but sort of in a couple of days since, I've gone, fuck, that's weird. And I'm really glad I watched it, and I did enjoy parts of it. But I don't know in the moment if I was enjoying it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I get that. So I did enjoy it at the moment, and I have enjoyed it since. I would even say it's better than most of the other 80s movies we've done. I think it's better than that one with Kenny Everett in. What was
Oh,
that?
yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
similar to that.
Bloodbath at the House of Death.
At the House of
Yeah,
Death. It's better than
I
that.
enjoyed this more
It's
than
100% better than Spaced Out.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of us, but we've done other 80s
Yeah.
movies as well. I had a lot of fun with it. I really enjoyed it. This is 100% a me movie.
Yeah.
If I'd have been my age now in the 80s, I'd have been watching this sort of movie all the time.
Sure.
All the time. Right.
I just think in regards to the stream table, obviously there's a long way to go. Yeah. I just think Riptide is going to be, at the minute, is the best bottom movie we've ever seen.
Yes, that's fair. That is.
This is just a family movie that's stupid and there's nothing offensive about it, is there?
There's nothing about it at all.
No.
And that's why it's down there.
Yeah.
But
no, I'm cool with this being 8th.
Okay.
Bloody New Year.
Bloody New Year. Right, we've got to pick next week's movie. What do you want?
Something that hangs together a bit better. Is that okay to say?
No, we had that last week. You can't have it every other week. That's not fair. I'm going to press this button. Are you ready?
Yes.
Robin has picked us a movie called Green Sea.
Okay.
Any ideas?
None whatsoever.
Okay, let me have a look it up for you. Oh, have we ever been to Greece before?
I don't think
I
so.
don't think we have either. This is a Greek movie.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if we've ever done a Greek movie.
I don't think so.
It came out in 2020. It's a drama, according to IMDb.
Nice.
Would you like a synopsis?
Yes, please.
A woman who has lost her memory struggles to reconstruct her past whilst cooking simple yet delicious food for workers at a working-class seaside tavern.
Lovely.
Sounds like a lovely
Food
little
movie.
food movie. Just what we need. Greek food movie. So yeah, go out and check out Green Sea. And in the meantime, check us out on Instagram and Letterboxd at BOTS_podcast. If you want to drop us an email, our email address is bottomofthestream@gmail.com and our website is bottomofthestream.com. On our website, you will find every episode we've ever recorded, all the stream tables, loads of other cool stuff, and you can even get some merch if you want to buy a Bottom of the Stream
Hotel.
I think we sell hotels. But, after you've done that, head over to Patreon, patreon.com/bottom of the stream. On there, for £5 every month, you will get early access to episodes. You'll get bonus episodes. You'll get exclusive access into a room in our Discord. And if you come in at the top level, no, you come in at any level now, you get a wild card, which means you can choose the film we watch. And if you pick the best one of the season, you will win a prize. And then when you've done that, head over to Discord. The Discord is a wonderful group of wonderful people who will talk to you about anything. We play games, we do watch-alongs. Loads of cool stuff goes on in the Discord. We've got so much exciting stuff happening in there. It's great. Come and join the Discord. The Discord link will be in the show notes.
It sure will. If you can spare a few minutes, please leave us a review and rating anywhere you can review and rate podcasts. It really helps get the word out, spread the word about our show. And, well, why not? Because more people should be aware of and going out to watch movies like Bloody New Year.
True.
You can find us anywhere you find your favourite podcasts, which obviously is this one.
Yes, of course it is.
All of those places. You know them. Come find us.
There's a new one. YouTube Music now hosts Bottom of the Stream.
Very good.
So they've only just started showing podcasts on there. The show's always been on YouTube.
Yes.
But now it's on YouTube twice. Because
Brilliant.
Podbean uploads it to YouTube, and so does YouTube Music uploads it also to YouTube. So if you use YouTube Music, you'll find us on there.
Brilliant. Come find us.
Come find us on there. If you don't like your podcast app, try YouTube Music.
Give it a go. Let us know how it is.
Yeah, I've never used it, but let us know how it is. It was quite an effort to get everything on there, I must admit. And I think that's it.
Brilliant.
Are we done?
We're done.
So go out and watch Green Sea, and then come back on Monday for The Wave, and next Thursday for the movie show.
Cheers!
Bye!